Good morning, family and friends. Sergeant OCD here. Just want to let you know I'm not happy with the way the smoke went in this structure. So I'm going to have to move this over and kind of block off that exit for smoke, which is also going to keep the rain and snow out because it is starting to get colder. I'm going to wrap up this into my go bag, and I'm going to try to do some other things today, some projects that I've been looking into, but I got to do some more research on it. So just got the standard stuff with me today. You know, last week I talked about haversacks. You'll see me carry that, what I call a gut bag, around. If you want to carry a gut bag around, that's fine too. Anyway, I'll start again when I get close to moving this camouflage tarp over to this one. Alright, as I'm putting this tarp back together, kind of overlapping, so all the rain goes down here, and then this is a short side anyway. But one of the things I was trying to do before, and I couldn't do it, so I think I came up with this little pretzel thing. So what I did before is I did this and then this. I'm not sure if this is a knot, but I just tried to get them out, and with any tension on the cordage, you can't. So I made this little pretzel, and I went in between this one. I need to make it a little larger here. So pretzel here, pretzel here, put this cord through here, this one, or this stick through here, this one through here, and I pulled it tight. Well, what that did is it tightened each other, and the more you pull on it, the more it tightens. So that's a pretty cool knot. I call it a pretzel knot. But what I saw Corporal do today, it was not last week's, but the week before's videos, is he took this, one bow, turned it over on itself, okay, and then grabbed the other end. Oops, let me show you again. One loop, turned it over, grabbed that inside one, pulled it up, put his toggle through here, and pulled it tight. But you see, now I gotta finagle it around so it's in the right spot, which is fine. And that's a good knot. What I like about this is it comes loose easy. I mean, all you gotta do is wiggle it, pull one or the other, and it comes loose. So I'm gonna leave that one in this one. There's nothing wrong with it. All I'm doing is making toggles and pulling them back through. So I got to figure out which way my smoke needs to go now. But, you know, learn these knots. You know, I'm not good at what they're called. I mean, I think that's a Marlin spike hitch. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it is because the spike hitch normally goes around a log or another rope. But that is the actual way to do it, not my way. So one of the good things about just having a loop on some of your eyelets is you can just take because you should have a bunch of these, you know, nothing or a knot on one end and bowline on the other. You can just take your bowline, run it right through. You just extended that cable. You know, that's why I was thinking about putting these loops, about 12-inch ones, on each of my eyelets for my tarps. But I ran into a couple times where I needed it very short, so I probably won't do that. But hey, you know, you gotta do trial and error. Let me tie this up now. So that didn't take too much time. You know, you should always try to find the best way to configure your tarps for what you need. Now, if this was a sleeping quarters, that's all it would be. But I'm looking at this more of a cooking tent, because if you're camped, you want to have a cooking area, preferably down by water, and then you want to have a sleeping area. So the reason is you don't bring any food back to your sleeping area, because animals like food, and if they run out of your food, they're going to eat you as food. That would be bad. So I'm going to clean up a little bit more, try to organize. I got to find the stuff that I collected for a bow saw. I'm going to try that, but we're going to look at our char material next. What we charred last week. We're going to make a little bird's nest out of some grass, and we're going to see if we can get some of that char material and start the grass. I didn't collect any. I have a little bit from last time, so obviously in the morning the grass is wet, so the dew will moisten the dead grass. That's why you got to have possum mentality and collect as you're moving along. But anyway, I'm going to get this stuff done, set up for trying to start the char material. Alright, so all I really have is I just have a wood base. I don't have any smalls in there. I just wanted to see if I could get this to start. It is a little moist, so well, I opened up my char material and I'm missing something. Remember that cordage I put in there? That flat cord? Gone. I want to try to make sparks out of some of these rocks, but I don't have the right knife for it. And they're probably not even the right rocks. Anyway, I'm going to try to get one of these guys, get an ember on one of these guys. There's one right there. It is hot, as you can see. I brought my tripod over from one of my traps. Oh, forgot you're supposed to blow gentle on this. Basically, you're trying to get the char material to start up. I'm trying to use my regular breath, but I keep pushing, pushing out more. Don't be all in a hurry when you see smoke, Fred. So the other technique is to, oh, it's hot, is just to wave it back and forth. And try to get it smoking. The more it smokes, the more it's going to catch on fire. The more it catches on fire, the better you have for a fire. Just like that, all from charred wood. And that's what you want it to do. So, the only problem is part of that material was actually a bird's nest. No birds were harmed in that. So anyway, that would be how you do it with charred material and a bird's nest. I finally just said, you know what, the heck with it. I'm just gonna make one out of grass or leaves or whatever. But obviously it works, and probably just as good as School Popular, if not better. But I'm gonna let this go, and I'm gonna look for my stuff for a bow drill. God bless. I will see you guys later. Also, always be careful where you lay down your knives and your ferro rod. You don't want to lose them. So I decided to just leave this thing go. I threw a little bit of smalls on there, some pinky level and pencil level, and just let it smolder for a little bit. Just blew on it with my hose 2 times, and bam, we have fire. So I'm just going to use it to my advantage and char some more material. All I'm going to do is take some of the material I already charred once in my younger days. It's not charred all the way, so I'm just going to throw that guy in there, and we'll see what happens. As soon as I find the stuff for it, we're going to make a... so this is what it's all about. No, this would be my sleeping quarters. So, right now, since I'm not cooking, I ain't worried about it. Sometimes you make your eating quarters and they turn into your sleeping quarters, but more so your sleeping quarters turn into your eating quarters. Because the first thing you want to do is set up a shelter. And then you can work on a bigger shelter, better, more robust, depending on the seasons, depending on how safe it is and how long you're going to be there. I've got everything in my pack, so obviously, except for the hammock, everything's in my pack, so I'm just ready to go. Here's what I want to do with this auger. Now, I found it in my shop, threw it in my bag, and have never done a video with it. Just, I don't know why, I just haven't. And I hope this wood's not too hard. It actually isn't. It's probably what I need to make my part of my bow drill set. But what I'm going to do is tap that down a little bit, and since I can't find my handle, or never had, I think I had one for a tap and die set. So that would be perfect for this, because I could push down. So what I'm going to do, since I'm having problems, is I'm going to make a handle for this. Probably this side, for this to fit right into and stop, and we can move on from there. So all I'm going to do is split a piece of wood. So that's all I did was split a piece of wood down the center. What I'm going to do is try to carve out a wrench hole for this, and put a hole in this side, probably this side since it's thinner. Put a hole in this side for the auger to go through, and make my own handle. So basically, I put an auger bit into a piece of wood, hollowed out the part for my wrench, in there, even it out, and I'm going to put this back together. I'm going to use a lacing, so wrench that fell out. Put this in here. Make sure it still goes on here. So I thought this was one long hanka paracord look-alike, but it's not. It's all these little pieces, little 5-foot pieces. It went on my tarp tent, so I've got other stuff I'm using for that. So basically what I'm going to do is take one hank of this. That's all I get. Just going to tie a bowline in one side, you know, loop. Rabbit comes out of the hole, around the tree, back in the hole. And you grab a hold of the loop you made. And it should pull. I don't know what I did wrong, but it happens with bowlines. It doesn't have to be a bowline. I could do whatever. I just feel like a bowline today. Like that. So I'm going to tie it around here. Run my cordage all the way through. And what I'm trying to do is get at the ends of this. Now there's a couple different ways. I'm going to do this one this way. This is my old way to tie up stuff. And basically I'm just wrapping it around, trying to keep it even. It's just a quick way to get it together. The other way is it'll last much longer. And I'll probably end up retying this up. But all I'm going to do is that can't remember the name again. I don't know why I can't remember the name of that knot. But clove hitch. All I'm going to do is a clove hitch here. Get in there. Of course, it's right down the hole. There. All I'm going to do is a clove hitch there. This one's going to be a little different. Get this thing loose. Yeah, I balled them up all together. Don't do that at home, boys and girls. So, where's my hole? Oh, I just tied up my hole over here. I got the wrong side. I'm gonna have to redo that anyway. Anywho, basically what I want to do is I want to make a bow, right? So in that bow, I'm going to start on the bow side, leave the tail out, right? So however you want to start it, it's just got to go around, okay? Keep it tight, keep it in the same plane, because this is going to be what I think is very cool. And just wrap it around like I did over there. Now I found when you have a stick and you want to wrap it around, if you hold it up, do it that way, you could roll it. Oh, I don't want to pull that too much. You could roll it around. Basically, you want to keep this loop intact. Hear all that traffic behind me? Well, I tell you what, when I render this, it's very loud. So that's why I'm talking less and cutting out more, because that is very annoying. And there's nothing I can do about it except for buy a new camera, which you can't afford right now. Alright, So I'm at the end of my rope. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this rope through this loop. Right? That's where it's going to end. And this loop I can make smaller by pulling this. So basically I'm going to pull that whole thing through. And it keeps it very, 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 very taut. So unfortunately it pulled through on the gap, so I couldn't get it as tight as I wanted. Like I said, I got to redo this one. Oh, and this, some people burn this off, tie a clove hitch to it, whatever. It doesn't matter, I don't care. If it gets in my way, I'll burn it off. Anyway, let's do the same over here, but not on the split. And not on the knot. Okay. So this guy goes out. See if I can untie this one. I can. It's done. Alright. Same thing. I want to put a bow. Nice pretty bow. Just kidding. It doesn't have to be pretty. Since I'm right-handed, this will go a little bit better, a little bit faster. Alright. Much easier that way. Can you see this? Sometimes I forget the camera's there now. So, but, you know, I talked to a new motorcyclist, Christian motorcyclist, and started talking to him, and he gave me a little hint with some of the, see, just pull it through, some of the things I do with wax, and he actually mixes dryer lint with wax. And I know some of the bushwhackers do not like dryer lint, but you know what? Hey, if it works, it works. So I'm going to try that, and I'm going to give him all the kudos, because it's a pretty cool idea. Anyway, I've had this idea for a long time. So, you know, the idea is to put this on, lock it into place if I can. It's there. There. Lock it into place and twirl away. Everybody makes this look easy. And I may have some hardwood. I may have to push down. It may not work at all. Well, that's a bummer. I'll tell you what, this is a cool little thing, and since my little contraption did not work, about trial and error, isn't it? Well, I'm back. This didn't work because this bit is like old and tattered, and if I have to put any money into something, I just buy new or buy used, very great condition. So now I'm going to teach you how to get this undone, because I don't really know. I think maybe I could pull this on this side, pull the string back. Yeah, you'd have to find that string, probably the last one, and just unravel it. So we'll do that later. But since I cheated, and I'll be the first to tell you, if I use power tools or I cheat, I'll be the first to tell you. So I just had a 1-inch spade bit went into here, and should have, yep, that's the way to test it. Don't suck in when you do that. So what I want to do here is I want to cut off 3 of these like little discs. And we're gonna get a pot of water and go get a dandelion root, and I'm gonna make some dandelion coffee, and it's gonna be good. Alright, so I have my container that I'm gonna put water in. I'm going to process down my dandelion leaves and root. Basically clean it up, cut it up, put it into the water. Put that away. Put that away. Everything goes into my gut bag since I like to lose things. I couldn't find the chisel earlier, but I did find it. It's in the gut bag. So lighting this stove is a little different. So we got your air hole here, and these are some blocks I cut up, and I started using my saw because that's what you guys are supposed to use. But in the, for time purposes, I just I cut them up on my chop saw. So anyway, I do have these matches, but I've got to get some fine sticks. I might even chop some up. Show you guys how I do that with well, basically my machete. Not sure if I showed how to do that yet, but using a knife is okay, but I still am wondering, do I use 20 degree, 30 degree, you know, on my knife blade? So I'm still doing research on that. I typically do a 30, but maybe I need to go to a 20 because my knife's not sharp enough. Alright, first thing I'm gonna try to do, touch this, untouchable. Okay, so now I gotta find another way to get that thing off of there without spilling it. Typically we can use the 2-stick method, maybe even pull with this here, but I'm gonna have to lift this guy up, and I'm gonna have to pour it. Didn't think about that now, did I? I'm gonna let it cool for a little bit. Maybe I can get to these. This one will be a little bit easier, I hope. Put this one in. Now all I got to do is take this one off. I can't put the rubber canister on it. Voila, just like that. So this chain is really going to come in heavy. It's going to come in good use. So I don't want my char material recharred. So let me try to pour this in here. So basically I want to pour that into here because I've got all my green stuff in here. And then this is a filter. So I'm going to pour it through the filter. Now let's just say there are way too many critters in there. There's a couple ways I could do this. I could put this over here, pick it up like this, and pour it over, which seems to be the way I'm going to do it. It's a little warm, but I'm used to it. So another use for cotton. So now all I have to do with this is let it seep for a while and clean up my mess. So that's clean. Now, I'm gonna set this stuff aside. It's gonna go right back in that thing. I don't care if I hurt it. I gotta figure out a good place for this because I keep losing it. So here, I mean, I could put them back on here if I wanted to. Actually, that's there. It's a little warm still. So I'm just gonna let that fire go out and have me a little tea. Now there may not be a color to this, but the steam came out of there. It's hot, guaranteed. There may not be any color to this, but the nutrients are certainly there. So, yeah, there's not much of a color. It is hot though. Wow. So it looks like brown water. Okay. But if you look up dandelions, it's some good stuff. Now, I'm gonna leave you with this. Today we fixed our tarp. I'm happier with it. Now that fire is right under an opening, so that's good. The tarp blocks the road. I'm happy with that. I got my tripod hooked up and actually used it just to hold some things, but I just used it. We got a fire started with our char material. We didn't get our tower log to work, but I think I need a bigger hole, but I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna try to get a fire in there. I've been throwing coals down there just to see if it'll burn through. But I'm gonna say goodbye for now. Like I said, I'm on vacation this week, so I might make more videos. I don't know, but this one was more of a camp video and start a fire with charred material. So God bless you. Train. Take care.